Hello, this is James McCorn, and today I'm going to be talking about a very innovative service called Liquidsky. As you can see, all three monitors are being driven by my Surface Book, which is an amazing device with amazing battery life, and I absolutely love it. It allows me to get a boatload of work done. However, when it comes to video editing, it really is slow. It will take its time. Now, for normal 1080p video, no problem. They'll zip right through it. But I deal with, as you can see here, 360 video, and it records at 2K, and Surface Book at 2K with 360 video is a little slow at times. So that's where Liquidsky comes in. So if you notice on this monitor, I'm going to go ahead and bring it up, we have our Liquidsky desktop. I'm going to go ahead and full screen it. Now, one of the advantages Liquidsky offers is, unlike other services, for example NVIDIA Grid or the precursor to NVIDIA Grid, which is OnLive, is this is a full desktop computer. Full. But it's running in the cloud. And what's really nice is not only do they give you, up to 7 cores that you could do work with, but they also give you an NVIDIA Grid option for $34.95 a month. And you may say, well, that's rather expensive. $34 is, quite a lot. But if you think about what they are providing you, and that is a full desktop. You could install whatever. You could work on whatever. You could edit video however you want. For example, I use Pinnacle Studio. I'm going to go ahead and launch it here. And it runs completely in the cloud, which means your local machine is free to do whatever it wants. But here's where you got to think about this slightly different. Liquidsky upgrades their hardware constantly. Which, if you were to do the same thing, it would take far longer for you to recoup your investment than it would be to use a virtual processor and the entire desktop as a service. Okay, you notice this is rendering right here. It's rendering the video. It's doing it quite fast. If you look at the processor count, it's using all 7 cores. My Surface Book, in the meantime, is completely free to do other tasks. Completely free. So this is able to edit and work on video, and I'm not impacted. Plus, every few months they roll out a hardware upgrade, meaning that the desktop as a service gets even better. So for the same price, they're going to be upgrading and getting you better CPUs, better graphics, and you could still hold on to your old investment, whatever it may be. Mine happens to be a Surface Book, but yours might be a simple, MacBook, and you want to do video editing. Well, now you can at the full power of what an NVIDIA Grid and 7 CPUs could provide, but in the future it might be 16 CPUs and the latest Grid architecture added back in, and the thing streams with 0 latency. I am able to edit this timeline with no latency. And if you look at the settings here, you can see the quality slider. If you go over to the settings, you could clearly see that 1080p 60 frames per second. It also is, they're aimed at gamers, but in reality you could do a heck of a lot on here. You could edit CAD files, you can render Lightwave, Maya 3D, all the normal stuff you'd be able to run, and it would take it because it's running a full-on NVIDIA Grid processor and 7 cores. Good luck trying to do a full 3D render on, the Surface Pro or a Surface Book or even the Mac Pros. That's going to take a heck of a lot of time with their outdated tech compared to what Liquidsky can deliver And, scalability, all it is just another subscription. You have another machine ready to roll, full power, full capabilities. I mean, how can you get, a one computer for $34.95 a month, let alone you could scale up to as many computers as you need? So you could, if you think about this from even a business perspective, it makes sense because you could buy, those cheap mounted on the back of monitor computers, maybe even an Intel compute stick, because it doesn't matter. You can run that compute stick there, tap into Liquidsky, and get serious professional 3D rendering done. And they provide some serious storage. But what's nice is they don't limit what you can install. So you could go ahead and essentially run, like I run OpenDrive, which is my files in the cloud, and it's unlimited storage. And I could just access that and go into whatever subfolder and get work done immediately. They also provide a terabyte of storage on their unlimited plan, which is what I'm running, which is, quite, focus up here, quite amazing, that I could just store as much data as I need to right there. And then if I need more, I have OpenDrive ready. I have all my video editing projects right there. I could literally pull them from OpenDrive, edit them on this machine, have it render as I drive home from work, and have it ready to pop up and for me to interact with when I get home, without ever, impacting or disrupting my workflow. So, that's the power of Liquidsky. Quite an amazing service, I might add. I'm thoroughly hooked. And if they keep upgrading like they have been upgrading, why would you ever want to get a dedicated machine when you could simply have the best of the best streamed right to you? And that's another point I'm going to bring up. Most people, when they want a faster internet connection, they want it because they want to download stuff quick. They want to have it accessed immediately, and they want to be able to work with it. Well, with Liquidsky, let's run a speed test. And you'll say, well, of course, having, wow, it's only 140 right now. Well, normally it's a gigabit. But, most people, they want to have a really fast internet connection so they could download stuff to their computer so that way they could work on it. Well, let me change your perspective just a little bit. Working on remote Sky is no different than working on your physical machine. So when you download something, and let's say you have a slow internet connection at your house, well, this is being streamed at your house at about 2 megabits per second with amazing quality, being decoded by whatever machine you're using, and then being sent straight to you. So you can't really tell the difference. And then whatever file you're downloading is on the Liquidsky machine, ready to be worked with, ready to be manipulated with. YouTube, Netflix, what other services that you use will download straight to here so you can work on them immediately using your own applications. And on your internet connection, you don't really need that speed. You don't really need top tier gigabit internet in order to get top tier gigabit internet workstation. And, right now, it was 180 megabits, but normally it's about 1 gigabit per second. So, 150, but it should be getting faster. 170. It'll kick up. It'll kick up. But yeah, you get that full speed, and then it's streamed to your desktop, and you're none the wiser. So you have all the downloads that you ever want stored in the cloud. You interact with them in the cloud, and then you could have them propagate to your machine if you really want to. But this just changes the paradigm. If your storage isn't local and it's all stored on the internet, and your desktop is stored on the internet, why would it really matter if you had a physical copy on your machine, unless you're flying? You know, people fly, but you could just take a small portion of your files. You don't need all your files. And then when you land, you'll be able to interact with them almost immediately, no matter where you are around the world, which is what we always want. And the best part is the managed environment. They're always doing optimizations to make sure your machine is running faster than it ever was before. It's like having a full dedicated support team. And then if anything goes wrong, you just press a button and the machine completely wipes itself and you get a brand new machine you could work with. You know, I'm on the consumer plan, but they have enterprise and business plans coming out soon, which are going to offer a whole bunch of opportunities to those who are willing to work with it. You know, okay, so let's give an example. I'm probably being really static. So here is, a 360-degree video, and I'm able to interact with it as if I was native. You know, I could jump around the timeline, and what's nice is, there's no difference. I mean, there might be some perceptive difference on this because it's recording at 30 frames per second, but there is no issue here. And I could hit, play, and it will play. I could zoom into the scene and zoom out as it's running in real time. And that, editing 360 videos at 2K resolution, just give me an idea here. Yep, if you look at that right there, that is 2K at 30 frames per second, which is what the 360 camera I'm dealing with is. 2K at 30 frames per second. And it handles it. It's done. It's taken care of. Really, really amazing piece of technology. I hope Liquidsky does the best that they can going forward, because I'm excited to see where this service goes. This is James the Corn, signing off.